at you live from DNHQ insert number here in beautiful South Pasadena, California. This is the Blue Heaven Podcast. Now potentially featuring sports.
Whoa!
What's going on, Dodgers Nation? My name is Clint. You can find me as Real FRG on Twitter and Instagram.
Thank you for the pause for dramatic effect. My name is Brook. You can find me at BrookMe3 on Twitter and Instagram. On today's show, we have baseball, kind of.
Sort of.
Yes and no. Better, more than we have. I don't know.
It's the closest we've been in 88 days. Wait, no, it's been about 90 some odd days.
It's been a while since we've had baseball. We're going to talk about that Major League Baseball's latest rumored agreement with the Players Association.
Rumor, that's a money point right there.
Rumored.
We got as part of that conversation, I think we do need to laugh and talk a little bit about the when and where part of these last week of baseball conversations, because that was not accurate, but there's also some stipulations with that. We're going to be featuring our first ever Blue Heaven Top 10 list. So we'll get to that in about the whatever part of the show. And we're bringing it back. It's been a while. It's been too long, probably. We are bringing back hypothetical complaints. It's going to be version 4. What would we be complaining about if there actually were baseball happening?
That's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
People like to chime off on that one.
What is this like? This would have been almost 90 games into the season.
I don't know.
Yeah, so there's been a lot. So before we get into the show, please, if you're not already following the podcast, we do this as a podcast. This is a podcast, but a lot of you fine, delicious people watch us. But we ask if you could please rate and review us on iTunes. I don't think you can actually on Spotify, but follow us, follow us home, follow us on Spotify, follow us on all the spot, follow us wherever you get your fine podcast programming, and also check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dodgers Nation TV. Is a lot of goodies.
I'm not like all you rich people with Spotify, so I don't know if you can review or not. But
isn't it free?
I don't know. But
99 cents.
Don't forget, guys, this is a live show, so make sure you let us know where you're repping Dodgers Nation tonight. Jump into the comments wherever you're watching from. I'm going to jump in a little bit because Norma points out that I can shave off my mustache, and that's a conversation worth having at some point in the show. Maybe not right now in this moment, but be thinking about that, guys, because I did commit to keeping a mustache until baseball was back.
Yeah. So
what does that mean?
That is
there are a lot of stipulations there. Is that like the first Dodgers win? I don't know. Is it Mookie Betts' first home run as suggested on Twitter?
No, until there would be Dodger baseball. So it's either opening day or spring training 2.0. Those are going to be
for debate.
So let's get into that later on in the show, because there are more important things to talk about.
Be thinking about it.
People, and Roach even says that. Did the stash go on opening day or first day of spring training 2.0?
I have my opinions, and I will wait to share them.
Norma would love a beard. I don't know if she personally would want a beard. I mean, it's up to you if you want a beard, but also
I can't even grow a mustache. You want me to grow a beard?
Yeah, he was trying for. You were trying for the first month.
Yeah. My wife is not a fan.
It was
not good. Jack over on Periscope says 10 things more reliable than Manfred. Number 1 is anybody. Jack, good call.
We got our friend Jim from Boring, Nebraska.
Oh,
you remember that time?
That's Jim. Jim, I always want you to know that comment stuck with me the entire week, and I laughed about it falling asleep several times.
Yeah,
it's a classic.
By the way, somebody did point it out. One of our friends of the show is Kowski. He pointed it out also on the internet when I posted the picture. But we do have a new background for people watching the show. Check it out on our social media if you guys are listening to the show.
Where did that come from?
But we got a fancy, well, it says it right there. What is it? At IG
their Instagram is Home Plate Designs.
Yeah, there it is. _designs. Designs. We got that cool LA chinga in there, and I don't know, I feel better in this room now. Like there's a lot.
We feel like a sports talk show, and we have sports now.
Yeah, we're about to have sports.
We're about to be legit, because for the past couple of weeks we've just been two guys sitting in a dark room.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Usually I have when I was at my house, I had the window open over to my right, so it'd be light, and by the end of it, it'd be dark, and then like my bright ass light is on, and it was basically a fishbowl. I was working in a fishbowl, but baseball, you be dumb, but finally you sort of maybe have figured it out. Up to the minute news is, looks like a season will be implemented, and it took 88 days for Rob Manfred and the owners to agree to the agreement they agreed to on March 26th. So
I like the in-between, like the initial agreement 88 days of renegotiating, and then settling back on the original agreement. That's just, I mean, it's just beautiful. Love it a lot. It took that long for Rob Manfred to figure out that he's going to have to offer more than 48 games. I think that's all it comes down to.
Yeah.
Is there anything more?
They bought the time they needed to be able to implement the 60 game or even 50. I think 60 is reasonable, and now it's not. It wasn't 2 weeks ago if they did only 60, unless they're having like hella days off in between. But
so we needed 2 weeks to delay it and to be like, now we can do 60. And they're like, okay, now we can do 60.
And they found it. You know, I wonder if like Tony Clark's in his pocket. he helped contribute. Okay, so of all of it, again, we've been very hard on Rob Manfred, and he deserves it. He's an evil man, probably. Sources tell us that he's an evil man, but it's not all the owners. It's not all Rob Manfred. Sure, baseball, the league side is a big part of it, but the players said. And they're defending themselves today because it became a big time source of vitriol online. Yeah. The players said last Sunday that what day was that? So they said 8 days ago on Sunday the 14th. When and where? Universally, the players said that, and that was after. That was before the sit down meeting between Tony and Rob, as they like to be called. They're porn stage names. Yeah. So they got together and they had the framework, like we talked about last week. They had the framework to make a baseball season happen. And then Tony Clark came out of that and was like, "Whoa, I don't remember us like having any of this." And then all of a sudden, there was a 60-game proposal from the players based on that framework that was allegedly agreed upon in that meeting, and the players rejected it. And they put some it was really their first legit black eye in this PR drama negotiation nightmare.
I mean, the best way you could put it, like Trevor Bauer talked about it a little bit today, and everybody has different opinions on Trevor Bauer, myself included. But even he was like,
let's get into those.
Look, we're so far into this now. We're so far past the date when we should have played baseball or should have been able to, that it's not really good for both sides. You can obviously look at Rob Manfred and say, hey, like, you really screwed this up. You really fumbled. You really had the opportunity to get in the good graces of fans and the baseball players, and you screwed it up. There's no doubt about it. But you look at the player side of it, and more recently, you start to be like, okay, players, let's get on board. Let's talk about what we're talking. Let's get in on this. Let's figure something out. It doesn't seem like you guys want to figure anything out. If you guys just want to cede the Manfred mandated number of games, then so be it. Just say it. Let's do it. But then they, there's the whole thing of, we're done negotiating. It's in MLB's court now. And then it's like the next day you come back and they're like, no, you're still negotiating. So are you negotiating or are you not negotiating? Because I don't care as long as you just make up your mind about it. It's a PR nightmare, to say the least, for Major League Baseball. I don't think in any sense of the word is any baseball fan happy right now, other than the fact that they now know that they're probably getting baseball back. That's about it. But, I mean, is anybody really satisfied with how anything has gone? No one's sitting there like, hey, this has gone great. On top of the fact that we're now getting even further into this whole COVID-19 thing coming back out again, and there's a chance that baseball season might not finish anyways. Yeah. So you get into that a little bit, and you're like, well, maybe if they had figured out something earlier, they could have squeezed something in. Who knows how it's going to go? The next couple of months of how this plays out is really going to reflect on leadership and ownership and everybody in baseball, really.
It's a tough situation, and it's going to continue to be a tough situation. Like you said, we could have probably got some games in. It looks like Lady Rona is going to be coming back, or not that it ever went anywhere, but
more of a vengeance. TBD.
Yeah, it's going to be the Revenge of the Rona, I think. Yeah,
I saw that movie.
So I think we find out who the father of coronavirus is in this particular movie. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while. They have to explain why Mark Hamill had the scar at the beginning of the movie also. Right. We're getting a little off track there, but
as we tend to do.
Looking at the comments here, Cool Whip Special, great name. Great name.
That's I thought that was a comment.
on YouTube. Cool Whip Special says, as long as we get to see Mookie in a Dodger uniform. And we brought that up last week, and we'll get more. I mean, I feel like we're probably being a little all over the place here because there's still a lot of weird. There's still a lot to process with all of this. But We kind of just had that as a throw in last week, talking about Mookie Betts and all of this being more likely that he could return to the Dodgers in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're getting this now 60 game season, do you think that helps more or hurts more, or it's still equal to him potentially coming back?
I think the number of games played regardless is not going to affect him coming back to LA or not. I think if there were no games played, he might personally feel more inclined to come back to LA, and not even that much really.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that there are games, it doesn't really matter. There's no market for Mookie Betts anymore. The money's out of baseball. The same thing's happening in NFL right now. And that's not even, they haven't even had any games canceled or pushed back or anything. No one's really sure where the money's going to be at next year. And with that in mind, you don't know where you're going to spend your money in this offseason. So if you're looking at free agents, I would really be surprised if any team offered Mookie Betts more than a 2-year contract. And if it's a lot of money, I would be very surprised by that, because no one knows where the money's going to be.
Yeah.
And with the uncertainty of baseball too, you also don't know after 2021 what it's going to look like. So if you're Mookie Betts, you're going to say either you're going to take a short contract and hope the market resets itself, or you're going to take a long-term deal because you don't think there's going to be any money in the future. Could go either way, but ultimately I think the Dodgers have the upper hand regardless, because the Dodgers always have money, even when nobody else has money.
Yeah.
So I think it works out.
It does work out.
It's sad to say, but like the situation that's being presented and happening right now is kind of making it so the Dodgers are going to re-sign Mookie Betts.
So getting back into what was agreed upon today, which was agreed upon in March. Funny enough, imagine how that works. But the short version is, I like the way Jim Bowden put this together. He says MLB plans to implement the 60-game schedule. There's not going to be a DH now, universal DH. So, well, that can be a hit point we can get onto for a second. No extended playoff or expanded playoffs. I'm on board with that as well. And then all the other stuff is kind of weird. There's a no $25 million in playoff pool money to players. There's a lot of weird money things that I don't care to know. I care about the product I see on the field, which is I don't want to see a universal DH. Let me watch Alex Wood try to hit, please. Thank you. I don't want the other thing I said. I don't want there to be a 16-team playoff. No, that just destroys the game right there.
Even get the Orioles in the playoffs. Not playing games, guys.
You go wash your mouth. That was so young, sorry. Man.
My bad.
But I guess that was essentially what they agreed to, and then all the players get a full season of what's that thing called?
Money.
Service time. Yeah, service time. Yeah, we're ready. We haven't had enough.
Full season of baseball.
First season of baseball. So yeah, it's a lot, but they have to now agree to health and safety regulations and all that, and whether or not players can get to spring training
by July 1st. Which is in 9 days.
6 days? Oh, it's 9 days?
Today's the 22nd, right?
Oh, yeah, because they have to agree to it by the end of Tuesday.
Right. So it's gonna be a tight window to make things happen. And if I know baseball and I know the way things have gone the last couple of weeks and months, it is not going to work out the way that we hope it will. So I think every day beyond Tuesday that it's not agreed upon, the number of games probably goes down per day, approximately, give or take, because it is fitting 60 games in approximately a 66-day window, which in of itself is a pretty tall task.
Yeah.
Swag Daddy McGee, which is always a clutch name over on Twitch, says, "Damn it, Brooke, I'm driving and was typing exactly what you said. First of all, don't do that. Second of all, yes, thank you for following along. Thank you for keeping up with me."
Kathy says they are already at spring training. Yeah, for the Dodgers, for sure. I think most of the team is around at Dodger Stadium already. A lot of guys are back here in LA.
And if not, they're all around Phoenix because they have their houses over there right now.
Because, I guess Camelback is now officially shut down, but I'm pretty sure they're still finding ways to work out and work around out there.
The Beatties are going hiking
with the Peterses. So again, it's now the next first step into positive. It's the next thing where there's actually going to probably, maybe, hopefully, possibly be baseball, but there is a catch because we've done that too many times now. I feel like we've been baseball teased. way too much.
Yeah, I'm not
over
really,
these last 2 weeks.
I even said it earlier. I was like, I'm not really excited about it yet because until I see somebody throwing a baseball on a field, I'm not really gonna get too hyped about it because there's been too many times where it's like they're coming close together on a deal, they're getting close to getting something done. Baseball's gonna be back. I think back in March they were like they should have something figured out by like the first week of June. You remember that? You remember that gold mine? Woof.
Yeah.
And now here we are, June 22nd, pushing July. Still no baseball.
Think about
months gone.
Think about when it was. Oh man, I can't believe it's going to be July 4th. Like, why don't they just start on the 1st? Like, give it the full month. But also July 4th makes sense. That's kind of cool. Now, if we're lucky, it's going to be the weekend of July 24th through 26th. There's going to be the start date will be some time in between there. But we have a request to put baseball tees on a shirt and
blue baseballs.
Damn it!
I'm
proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm gonna give you a. So I got to ask you and everybody in the audience, feel free to participate. We know now all of the different bits and pieces, the games, the extending into possibly even playing the World Series in on Christmas Day that Scott Boras wants. There's been such a long and ugly trek to get here. Again, when it comes to PR, when it comes to all this kind of stuff, but if you could put together a perfect deal that both sides would agree to, what is your perfect deal when it comes to all the different bits and pieces bits and pieces of things that were added or have been discussed?
You mean like the
season length, DH, playoffs, trade? What's going to happen with the All-Star game? There's still a lot. Is media going to be allowed at these games? Is there going to be walk-up music at these games? Now there's a lot more of these type of questions.
True,
but what is your most perfect things? And Amosha says, hey, we haven't seen you in a while. How's it going, buddy?
Amosha.
It's expected to vote yes on, yeah. I don't trust Bleacher Report. Remember back when Bleacher
Report uses us as a source? So no. I'm going to hold off on them for a second, a hot minute.
I remember when to be a Bleacher Report accredited journalist, you just had to have an email account. Shout out 2008, represent.
What are those?
What, 2008?
Oh yeah.
What are those?
I think my ideal season would have been the half a season. Like it would have been the 81 games that we thought we were getting. I really thought we were getting 81 games. I thought it was like the most likely thing. And then all those things come out where they're like, the owners are like, we're losing $600-something thousand a game. And I was like, oof, we might not get 81 games, guys. So apparently Passon said it too. So if Passon said it, it's happening.
All right.
A little more confidence there.
Keep building your story. I'm going to look at Jeffrey over here.
Good. If you're talking about details, I would have really liked to have waited on the universal DH because it's coming with the new CBA anyways. Yeah. I would have rather just waited. It's competitively, not all teams are designed to seamlessly go right into the universal DH yet.
No,
a couple NL teams like the Dodgers are one of them. They're fine. They're locked and loaded from top to bottom. You think about some of those other guys. The Giants are not a team that are ready to go seamlessly into a DH or something like that. They need a little bit of a runway to get going. So I think in terms of overall fairness, it would make sense to implement it after the CBA, at least give teams time to plan for it. Everybody knows it's coming after the 2021 season. So, I mean, at least that.
Yeah, there's no doubt that I think of any team, any NL team that would have had to deal with the struggles or whatever, the change of implementing the universal DH. The Dodgers, we talked about it on here before. They're by far the best equipped. If you want a straight stick off the bat, you got Matt Beatty. If you want slugger, you got Edwin Rios. And there's going to be still the expanded rosters. I don't know if they're going to have the 30-man or if it's still going to stick at the 26-man. I don't remember what that. It's so long ago now, 88 days.
Long time.
I don't know what that particular agreement, the March 26 agreement was, but I think it is like 28 players or something like that. There's going to be more batters, so you can get away with carrying
more people.
You can get away with carrying Edwin Rios. You can give more games off to Mookie or Jock. Get him off the field, please, and you can get more Kiki and more CT3 out there. So yeah, the Dodgers would have been better off with the DH, especially in a shortened season. But for somebody who enjoys the game the way it is. And I'm not over here being some old crotchety man about it. It's like, no, it's more fun. It's more strategy.
I will say, and this is going to probably offend. No, we're an NL channel. We're fine. I do think that there is a lot more managing involved and in-game tactics involved when you have pitchers as your hitters. There's a lot you have to work with. There's a lot you got to work around. I think AL managers essentially are figureheads. They don't really do that much. Yeah. There's not really much that they do. They make pitching changes.
They don't even write out the lineup. Usually it's the bench coach writes out the lineup that was put together by the guys upstairs.
Like Joe Madden going from the Cubs to the Angels is going to have to work a lot less this year. Granted, he's going to lose a lot more games, but he's going to have to work with us. I would also like to point out, just as a side note, Chris and Joe both in the comments say that my mustache is great. So,
I mean, you do get a lot of love for it.
I do, yeah. I mean, you guys don't see me really close, I guess. From this distance, it looks okay.
Yeah, no,
that's all that matters.
It looks a lot better on camera than this appropriate 6 feet wink apart that we are.
Yeah, see, 6 feet.
He's got an incredible wingspan.
Yeah.
So the latest from ESPN's Jeff Passan. Based on conversations with the number of players, which, let's be real, doesn't mean shit right now, there's a strong expectation that the Major League Baseball Players Association will vote yes on MLB's proposed July 1st report date, and they will codify, which is a word.
Codify.
He likes to use words. He wrote a book. Check out The Arm. I have 2 of them.
Oh, The Arm is good.
Codify the health and safety protocol with some slight tweaks. So we are bringing in methamphetamines into this. I did not know. Greenies are back. Oh, no tweaks. As in they're going to change the language of it. And lock in a 60-game season that begins around July 24th. Sources tell ESPN. He follows up by saying, as I've learned over the last 3 months, never, ever, ever, ever think MLB and MLBPA are close to anything until the ink is dry on an agreement, which is the right thing to say. It's a mystery that we've all survived this long, still actually hoping for baseball. The final thing he says, health and safety issues could cause a snag, and the whole thing could cascade. Probably will, because of where the country is at. But the optimism and motivation are both there. So codify to make a code.
Thanks, Mosh. Appreciate you. Codify to make a code.
Damn.
I got some more mustache comments too. Just saying. Jim likes my mustache, and he's from Nebraska, so and they have mustaches there.
They do, and boring flags, from what we've heard. Well, there's that. That's closer. That's that inch closer. But otherwise, you would not have been. You're sticking with that traditionalist in baseball in October, or would you have gone deeper?
I mean,
that's what she said. Can you go deeper?
I like the idea of playing baseball later in the year. I like the idea of switching over from watching the Cowboys getting demolished on Thanksgiving to watching the Dodgers play in the NLCS or something like that. I like the idea of that. I'm cool with that, but I will also not claim to be any sort of doctor or scientist or have any understanding of viruses in the least bit. With that being said, there probably is a possibility that it could get worse by the end of the year. I don't know. Obviously, we're not intelligent. We just talk about sports all day and drink Modelo. Sports. If there were no risk, let's say 100% no risk, nothing like that, I would be all for it. I'd love to see baseball in November, even December, around Christmas time. Hell yeah.
It would be great, but of course we're saying that as
people who sit on the couch.
People who sit on the couch in California.
Hell yeah.
And Michael Williams here comes in on Facebook, says, come on, people, it's too late in the year to start a baseball season. Well,
it's not even July, bud.
Besides, it would
the boys of summer haven't even come out yet.
It would be unfair to Midwest and Eastern baseball teams. Well, that's unfair because they're bad. Cancel the season, settle with players, providing compensation for spring training, and pray Corona is gone by spring 20.
We'll just bring like the Yankees and the Braves and like 2 other teams from the East to come over and actually compete, because everybody else is basically already eliminated. Just count them out anyways.
Whoever can pay for it, whatever owner can pay to get into the tournament, that's how it is. This is softball.
This just in, Derek Jeter has called the Marlins out of the... Interesting.
Like he personally can afford it. Anyway, anymore? Let's get into a few more comments before we get into the exciting first ever top 10 list. But yeah.
Our boy JR's in here.
Oh, JR's the guy that made this sign. The funny thing is we put in the order for the sign before Corona, and he was nice enough to make it and hold it for us for a while because, we were trying to not get dead. So
not dead.
Thank you to JR. That is at homeplate_designs. Get that right? home plate underscore designs on the
It's close.
Instagram. And some really it's look at it. It's holding all our stuff.
They're perfectly made to fit bobbleheads into. So if you have a bobblehead collection like we do, then they fit. Also, you can put your own bobblehead of yourself at the very top.
At the top.
Like,
Is it on?
Like I am up there.
You are just
Am I
barely
in?
on the scene.
Barely made the cut. Perfect. I'm in.
Let's see. A couple more. Roach says DH helps Dodgers, and yet I hate the idea of the DH. So Roach and I are on the same.
Santiago says
we're on that.
Tecate is better than Modelo. Oof.
Ooh, how do I
Santiago.
How do I ban him?
Santiago, you usually have some really good takes. Explain yourself.
Anyway. All right. Well, let's get into unless you can find any other goody comments in here. We got to pay attention to the comments.
No, a lot of them are not making sense today. You guys are on a sick one today.
we appreciate the jumbled nature of things, but Blue Heavens first ever top 10 list. I need like something. I would in my head. I hear the Johnny Carson like theme song. Na 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 na. Yeah, because
we just got flagged,
and we are banned from the internet. But the way we're gonna do this, this first edition, this inaugural edition of Blue Heaven's first ever top 10 list, is things we can rely on more than baseball, and we could even expand it if we're being fair. We can rely on more than Rob Manfred. Brooke has a list of 5. I have a list of 5. He wrote them down. It felt like too much work to me, so I typed them out. I guess
I can't read my writing.
That's also why I typed it out. Are we gonna go back and forth on it and do like 5-5, 4-4?
Yeah.
All right.
You can go.
Oh, I can go.
You start off. This is your segment.
The number 10 reason. I forgot. Wait, what is it? What's the thing? What's the thing? Hold on.
Things you can rely on more than baseball.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. Control C, and then we're gonna put it right at the top. Stop looking at my list.
Oh, sorry.
Son of a bitch. Things we can rely on
read.
more than baseball. Number 10. Mom showing up to your graduation not loaded on pills.
Not
loaded on
Gotcha.
pills.
You went an interesting route. I went a different route. Things you can rely on more than baseball. Number 9, Shaq making a 3 throw.
Ooh,
He's Shaq.
It's okay. I just got to get the rebound. We got to make sure you get the ball to Kobe.
Yep.
And then we gotta stick the boards. We gotta play good D. See the triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Buy cop car.
Mm-hmm.
The number 4, or I guess number 8, number 8 thing that you can rely on, that we could all rely on more than baseball and Rob Manfred, and that is Stan Kasten saying something dumb to Dylan Hernandez at FanFest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely something.
We are big fans of both Stan Kasten and Dylan Hernandez around these parts. You can quote me.
Wait, that felt like it needed a ding.
What are we on?
Well.
7?
Sure, 7. That comes out.
Numbers are hard.
Yeah.
The number 7 thing you can rely on more than baseball. Austin Barnes being an enjoyable human being.
I love listening to all the episodes of Off Air with Joe and Oral, and
Oral.
Every time the players are asked like, who would you take in a fight, it's like, oh, Austin Barnes right away, because he's angry. He's got that angry.
He no happy. He's got that angry Riverside boy.
Angry, he's an angry Riv boy.
I am a happy Riverside boy.
The number 6. I knew that. The number 6 thing you could rely on more than baseball. I also stuck with our Los Angeles Dodgers, and I said Jock Peterson's glove at first base. Boo that man!
He's not good. He is not good at first base.
Terrible.
He's bad at it. The number 5 thing you can rely on more than baseball. My elbow. Parts not included. Is there like a broken bone sound in there? Because it's no good, guys. It's no good.
Wait, where are you at? I know I have this. Where's my glass shattering?
There it is.
There it is.
It's my elbow. Yeah.
Or because your elbow's a ticking time bomb.
Just also a ticking time bomb. Getting old sex.
It's gonna blow out. We'll throw one in here from the audience. From the middle, Chris says, "Your crush texting you back. Baseball is more reliable than your crush texting you back."
My crush texting me back?
Sure.
Damn.
Who's your crush?
My wife doesn't text me back. Kind of messed up.
The number to 4. Number 4.
4?
No, 5.
I don't know, dude.
Four.
It's 4.
Whatever.
It's
The
just
number.
4.
My next reason of this top 10 list. Didn't I just go? No, I just went. It's your turn.
No, I just went. It's my elbow.
Elbow. Kill it.
And then you did Red Chris's. Number 4.
Kill it the kid. Number 4 thing that's more reliable than baseball and or Rob Manfred. A 99-cent store pregnancy test. Thank you. It's a hit.
A number 3 thing more reliable than Rob Manfred in Major League Baseball. Clayton Kershaw's 0 ERA in the postseason. So was this sad? Did it hurt? It hurt me. Hurt me to write it.
Hey, I'm having fun with this. This is different. This is a good time.
I don't know.
And wait, so I have number 1. That's what comes next. I'm so lost. I'm not a mathematician.
We're at number 1.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Because I went first. The number 2 reason, or the number 2 thing you rely on more than baseball and or Rob Manfred, Bob Nightingale's sources.
Oh, man.
A. Ow!
This is going to be great for the podcast. I'm really going to enjoy this. And the number 1 thing you can rely on more than Major League Baseball and more than Robert Manfred is the Blue Heaven Podcast.
Aww. Because we're here.
Because we're here every week.
We
No matter what.
Through thick and thin.
Mostly
He's thin.
thin.
I'm thick. Through a pandemic and no baseball, we've still brought you a baseball show. I don't know how. And this is like the first time we've really gone exceptionally off the rails and not baseball, but sort of baseball.
That's why I like this show. I watch every week.
Oh, man. Well, that was fun. That was different. I guess it's sidebar.
Keep running with that in the comments, by the way. I want to see more things in that.
Yeah, let's find some. David.
Joe says the number 1 thing more reliable in baseball. You guys remembering what number you're on, which is perfect.
Nailed it. David, the LA Goon on Periscope says Lasorda turning down a plate of pasta in the 80s. The ultra slim fast diet.
That's where he got his slim figure.
Big Steve. YouTube. Says Joe West. Strike zone. Ayo!
You guys are good. You guys are better at this than I am. The Frosty machine at Chris, they don't sell Frosties at McDonald's, man. That's Wendy's.
You sinner.
Mix
By the
it
way,
up.
you didn't like my little Jim Rome thrown in there?
No, I did.
Yeah, it was a little bit. Yeah, I figured.
I can't really breathe right now because I forgot what number we were on.
Well, you should go get yourself a nice McDonald's Frosty. And Norma says I could always rely on Brooke, maybe keeping the stash.
I like to keep people in suspense. I never really know what I'm going to do with it day to day. So,
Mrs. Brooke, are you watching? Let us know what you think.
do not let them know.
It's going to be all on.
That's a resounding no, Cotton.
Oh, and it's stunning. all right. We got
moving on.
We got some more Jock Peterson hate, so I'm proud of you guys. Roach says we can rely on people from San Bernardino being civilized.
Hmm.
No,
I see what he did.
You cannot.
I understand. I understand what he was doing there.
Next up on the Brookstash podcast, hypothetical complaints for. So good of a segment that somebody talked about it one time on Reddit. That's the tagline. That's the tagline of this section. That's
Oh yeah,
Reddit.
somebody talked about it on Reddit.
Yeah, and they didn't even give us credit. Shout out that guy, friend of the show, that guy.
In your face, sucker!
Hypothetical complaints for, guys. We want your participation. We want your guys' fun on this one as well. Mrs. Me3 says, I love you and you're super cute. Thank you.
Who is that?
Mrs. Me3.
Oh.
This is your friend.
Oh, this is my friend of the show.
Hypothetical complaints for, what would we all be complaining about if the season were happening again? We would be around 90 games in. The virtual Dodgers, the Cyber Dodgers, just became the first team to hit 50 games, 50 wins this fake season, I think, or something like that, at least in the National League. So, video game says the Dodgers are goodish.
Goodly.
How goodish would we have been, and who would have been the problem? I let out the last one. This is you. What will we be complaining about right now if There was a season.
Well, Leslie actually brings up a good point. That's a good way to start things off. She says, why did we keep Pedro Baez? He sucks. But on the other hand, I will say at this point in the season, we'd be complaining about Kenley Jansen and why Pedro Baez isn't closing games. That's what we would be complaining about, because you see Pedro Baez has a history of starting very well and ending very poorly.
Yeah. Facts check out. Sources confirm
Give
that
Pedro a bobblehead. Sons. You can't give Manny Machado a bobblehead before he even played a game in the Dodger uniform, and Pedro Baez still doesn't have a bobblehead.
Who else were we saying needs a bobblehead? We were just talking about this.
We were just talking about this.
We also need to find out what the hell happened, or what is happening with all the bobbleheads that were supposed to happen this year, because they were going to be.
They are now next year's bobbleheads.
Yeah,
they probably are.
I guess. I don't know how good a go get it out of the ocean bobblehead's going to be in
2 years
2020. Yeah, 2.
That's okay.
Oh, 2021.
2-year anniversary.
Hell yeah. For me, it would be, and I'm sure I'd have plenty of people on the same boat with me here. We would be complaining about why the hell does Joe Kelly still have a job on the Dodgers. I understand he's owed all this money, but you know what? If he's losing his games, he's costing his games all the time. He's a great Dodger killer even when he's on them. Proven Dodger killer. So we'd be complaining about Joe Kelly.
You just wait. You just wait. I mean, we have to have baseball to find out, but you just wait.
Hamilton's in the stream, and we are about to ban him because Seager's struggle. Hell no.
This is supposed to be the year. Summer of Seager.
He was going to have a little bit more milk.
That's a cool t-shirt. Get the Summer of Seager t-shirt.
Patent pending.
Patent
pending. Hell yeah.
No paint color companies can steal that t-shirt from us.
Norma wants a Dustin May booblehead. Is that like one of them? I want
This is a family-friendly show.
No, it's not. I think
it's not.
We've given up a little bit on that. Hey,
someone on Facebook says fans will be complaining about Roberts. That's during season, not during season. Even when he's not manager of the Dodgers, he's going to get a lot of crap.
Poor guy.
A lot of crap.
He's a nice boy. They want a bobble mustache. Greg wants a bobble mustache.
You and my mustache?
Sure.
That's what it looks like he's requesting.
Well,
I'm sure I can make that happen.
I'm waiting.
Don't know how.
Get you guys on this.
Don't know how to do
Rhino says Alex Wood and Julio Urias would be big complaints responsible for 30% of our losses.
How are you feeling about Julio coming into this year? Is this like a make or break year for him?
Oh yeah, definitely make or break. It was finally going to be his, take the reins off of him and let him pitch.
Now, I mean, there's no reins now. There's like 10 games or whatever.
I know.
Like Kershaw starts 12 games maybe this year.
You're going to get Jake DeGrom getting his third straight Cy Young
with like a 0 ERA.
With like a 5-1 record. Hell yeah. Elite legend.
Awards are going to be very strange this year because records don't really count this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they do, but they don't.
There's more of the pool of questions. Will there be, what did I say earlier? Will media be there? Will they allow little Ken Rosenthal?
Are you going to have like a 400 hitter? Like over a really good 60-game stretch, you're going to find a 400-game hitter?
The stats really are going to be...
Like they're all asterisked throughout the record books or what?
Like, I don't know if we can, because if they can't even asterisk a ill-gotten title for the Houstons, I don't think somebody hitting 460 games...
Hit the button.
Which one?
Hit the button.
Bam. That one?
Yep. Could have been anyone, really.
Yeah,
Chris says not really a complaint. But at this point, Brook has made a massive dent in his Michelotto challenge and has received national attention. Both him and Clint got invited to the celebrity softball game where the Astros team caught their hands. Give him that. Mm-hmm.
We made it.
I wish I could be making a dent in my Michelotto challenge. I haven't had a Michelotto in months.
Hamilton also followed up saying it's always the year with Seager. Well, you know what? F you, man.
No, Hamilton. Yeah. This is the year.
This is the year.
Summer of Seager.
He had MVP votes, Rookie of the Year, 2-time All-Star when healthy.
Our pets' heads are falling off.
Cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria. This is just movie quotes, man.
Yeah, that's all
we're
really do
delirious
here.
because there might actually be baseball coming back, and
We don't really know what to do
We
because
don't,
there
yeah.
might be baseball, but there might not be baseball. That's always very comforting. Very comforting.
Let's see what else. Somebody wanted a Lux bobblehead. Like this somehow became complaints and also bobbleheads.
That's a reasonable. We want to know your bobbleheads too. Speaking of Lux, that would be my other complaint is that he is going to have a very bad second year, and I think he is going to slump dramatically.
Ooh.
And we're going to be wondering why he's still starting so many damn games at second base and Kike's still hitting cleanup. That's what we're going to wonder.
Damn.
I just had to slip that one in there. You know, it's just always one I got to complain about.
You think Cody could hit 50 home runs this year?
50 home runs in 60 games?
Yeah. Make it happen.
It could happen.
Yeah. Anything is possible. That's what I learned in band camp.
Oh, a Matt Beatty bobblehead with the glasses
In the
and
interlock.
in the interlocking pinky.
I
How does he
can't
do it?
I couldn't do it left-handed.
There you
Yeah.
go.
That is hard to do left-handed.
Mm.
Shout out Matt Beatty, friend of the show.
Matt Beatty.
Dodgers having such a massive lead. They're trying Jock Peterson at first base again. Oh, that would be oof.
You okay?
No, I'm just I I have problems when it comes to Jock Peterson.
I know you don't like him.
Nope. Anyway,
More bobbleheads. Everybody has a bobblehead request today, and that's okay. Leslie says send Barnes to OKC. He's horrible. Yeah, they're not even gonna have a season, but they should still send him to OKC.
I talked about it a few weeks ago, and I had the sneaking suspicion that there's an unwritten signing because player signings and movement are frozen right now. But I think based on chatter I've heard on different shows, I kind of feel like Russell Martin has a verbal agreement to come back to LA.
You can't sign anything right now. You cannot sign with a team. But once that is in place, firmly believe that he will be back with the Dodgers. I think that's solid. I think that's kind of a given.
That would be the happiest moment of my life. I can go stalk him again.
I can't imagine them going into a season with Will Smith, who was really crap in the bed at the end of the year, and Austin Barnes, who's been crap in the bed for 3 years now. I really can't imagine they're going into a season with a fully loaded lineup featuring Mookie Betts and then being like, we're just going to throw in the towel on catcher, guys. Maybe if they had a universal DH, they might be more willing to, but...
Yeah. I mean, he makes sense for the DH, but also he makes sense with an expanded roster. Add him in there.
Yeah.
Superstar setup man reliever.
I guess it depends on how expanded it is.
0.00 career ERA. I think like what, a 0.4 whip. You should see his nene.
I don't like that one.
Hold on.
We don't like
I mean,
that joke.
I did a bangy.
We don't like that joke.
Did a bangy. But yeah. I guess that's about it. I don't know. Is there any new baseball stuff? Because I get that feeling that right when we end, it's gonna be like, oh, this just happened. Everybody's dead.
Yeah. Usually the thing that happens throughout the year, I think this happened with Garrett Cole. Was it Garrett Cole that happened with? When he was about to sign, and then we were doing a show, and then 20 minutes after we finished, he signed, and we were like already home. I was already at the taco truck, and he signed, and I was like, son of a... But the good news is it wasn't with us.
Yep. Well, that seems about right. Yeah, nothing is new on there. It's all about the same stuff. So we're going to hit that wrap it up button. We will be back, I guess, when the thing is more official, maybe. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We might be back again this week because we want to make sure that we come back with the official news and celebration that Major League Baseball has returned to action, and there is agreement in place to get games going because that is the most exciting day of our year up until...
There will be celebratory shots of Jack in that occasion. Rhino asked, when will Gary be back? I don't know.
He's
been busy.
I think Leslie asked in the comments, she says, where's Gary? We miss his loud typing.
Gary?
We will let him know that you miss his loud typing. He's usually the clickety-clack guy in the...
Classic Gary.
Real quick, when are they going to announce that the All-Star Game's canceled?
What, they still got time.
Is it next week?
I mean, if that was an option, apparently we're not ending now, but if that was an option, say they did try to open the season with an All-Star Game, how would you feel about that?
If they kicked off the season with an All-Star Game, how would you pick your players? Just out of a hat?
Either way, it's still a fan vote.
That's true. It is a fan vote regardless.
Yeah.
I've seen really crappy players get into the All-Star Game through a fan vote, like the entire Royals team that one year.
Yeah.
So,
son of a bitches. What I don't know. I guess I don't know. It'd be fun. Something different.
I still think we should stick to the NFL method and throw it at the end of the season in between the World Series and Championship Series or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah. But people are like, oh, but then the guys who are in the World Series don't get to be in the World Series or don't get to be in the All-Star game. I'm like, well, it doesn't matter anyways. And the people who are in the Pro Bowl or in the Super Bowl don't get to be in the Pro Bowls. What's the difference?
Mm-hmm. But
show me where I'm wrong.
Yeah, but also the Pro Bowl sucks.
Yes, it does. But so does the All-Star game.
Fair. Anyway, just
All
some
right.
thoughts. We'll find out more later on in the week. But until then, we will have all or some or most of the latest news on baseball and your Los Angeles Dodgers on the internet, where you can find us at DodgersNation.com. Subscribe to Blue Heaven. We are on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, Player FM, anywhere your podcast noise can be found. We live there. We are also on YouTube at youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, and Brooke might send you a mustache hair.
We might. You never know. Once I shave this stash, we're going to auction off individual hairs and send them around the country for charity.
Well, you have to shave it, apparently, or else you're going to be riding the couch, per sources.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Make sure you guys send me a message to let me know when I'm supposed to shave my mustache, because I don't actually know. It needs to be agreed upon, guys. The two sides need to come together on an agreement on the mustache. That's what it comes down to. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. My name is Brooke. You can find me at BrookeMe3 on Twitter and Instagram. This guy over there is at RealFRG on Twitter and Instagram. We are at Dodgers Nation on Twitter, at Official Dodgers Nation on Instagram. I am out of breath, and we will see you probably sometime this week, but if not, then next week, but maybe this week. Bye.
Play ball, bitches. Bye. I gotta get to the button.